Hey, what's up? Brian here with J-Line. Driving Conversations. This is where I let the Tesla drive and we have a conversation about what we've been talking about. I'll tell you what we've been talking about. We've been talking about the nomadic kind of lifestyle and how you need to be able to have an address. You need to be able to be on the same page with your spouse, with goals. You need to be able to, there's all kinds of stuff, okay? So I'm going to get out to the road here and then let the Tesla drive. Now I could let the Tesla drive now, but because I'm on a dirt road, and I mean, it will drive on a dirt road, but you never know how slow or fast it will go. So I just took it fast, quick, fast, in a hurry. And if you want to buy a Tesla, use the link in the description. And if you want to try, if you already have a Tesla and you want to try self-driving, I also have a link for that. You can get a great deal. All right, that's the sponsor, although we're not sponsored. All right, sponsored but not sponsored. Okay, here we go. Let's let the Tesla drive. Tesla's driving. Now we can have our conversation. All right, so basically, when it comes to what we're talking about today, the finances, right? When it comes to the finances, I'm really looking at how's the least expensive way to live, or the least expensive way to just have your expenses, okay? And so the mailbox, or having your address with America's mailbox from I think it's South Dakota, they have Texas, they have I think Florida and some other states, but we're thinking South Dakota because it's so close. Although I did just see a video about an RV resort that is amazing, by the way. It is in Texas, by Austin, between Austin, Texas and San Antonio, kind of like Blanco, by Blanco. And if you're familiar with Texas, but they had an RV resort. They had a pool, a splash pad, a pool table, darts, bar, showers. Like it was an amazing resort. And they had it for like $300 a month if you wanted to stay at that resort. $300 a month. And I'm like, what? maybe we'll still have our address in South Dakota, but every once in a while we'll be in Texas for the winter months. You know, snowbirds here in Colorado, right? But the thing about having residence in South Dakota, which I said on the other video, which I thought was pretty amazing, all you have to do is stay one night in South Dakota every 5 years. One night every 5 years, and you can be a resident of South Dakota. Oh my goodness. I think that's doable, because I love, and in fact, I didn't go this year, but many years in the past, we go for 4th of July, Independence Day, at least that week or weekend or whatever, we will go, we'll just take a drive. We're just a couple hours, like a day's drive from South Dakota, from Mount Rushmore. And so anyway, I'll definitely easily stay one night every 5 years in South Dakota. But anyway, that's kind of like, if you want to watch the other videos, get caught up on that, okay? Get caught up on all that stuff that we talked about. We talked about the pets. We talked about the money, okay? So, and that's where we talked about how you're going to create your income. You have to be able to work from anywhere. If you need a high-speed internet connection, that's something that you want to think about. We talked about how you want to travel. Do you want to be on a cruise? Do you want to be in camping? Do you want to be road tripping? Do you want to just fly places and get an Airbnb for the month? However you want to do it, you got to, figure that out. We want to do a little bit of it all, okay? Now, we might be heavy on the cruising because we get the free cruise offers where we only have to pay taxes and port fees. And even though like this resort in Texas is $300 a month, we can be cruising and traveling pretty much anywhere in the world for about $800 to $1,000 a month. And I'm thinking, that's a great deal too, right? $800 a month. And the thing I like about the cruising, and then we'll jump into the topic of the video, okay? The thing I like about the cruising is all your food's included, all your entertainment's included, you know, like, and you're traveling and going to see different places. So when it comes to like the cost of it being $800 or $1,000, you got to understand that's all in. We get internet. We don't have to pay extra for internet. We get the drink package. We don't have to pay extra for the drink package, and so that's all in cost at $800 to $1,000 a month. You know, for that. And so anyway, that's a whole. We'll do another video on just that. But the income. And so a lot of times you might say, well, I have a remote job, but I have to show my IP address and the VPN doesn't work, and my work just changed that, and they want me to come in a certain amount of days or time or whatever. So you don't have extended time to actually travel, although you do kind of work remotely from home a few days a week, but you have to go into the office, so it's not like you could be far away, you know, kind of thing. Okay, so there's that. So then what do you do when you have this income, or like maybe, I mean, most people, they have a job that they go to every single day, and they might have the weekend off or 2 days off a week. They might have some paid time off or some sick time that they're able to take like every once in a while and have like a long weekend or something like that. Now, this is how we lived for so long. And we always made sure, and there is a video, we talked about it, we always made sure to have something on the calendar. You always have to have something to look forward to as far as the next getaway, a next retreat, a next vacation. Like, what's on your calendar now? You know, like there should be something on your calendar now that you're going to be traveling, you're going to be, or at least having some time off, resetting, recharging, and having a getaway, a retreat, or whatever. And we talked about a video on that. But because we did that, we realized, you know what? And I said this in another one, but being that we're talking about finances, I need to say it again. Whatever you're making with your company, and I know because I operated multiple businesses for years. I operated 10 restaurants, and so I know what the P&L, the labor cost, the cost of goods, or the cost of service, however your business does it. I know what the P&L looks like, okay? And let me just tell you, the P&L, the profit and loss statement of your company, has a line for labor, a labor cost, and how much they pay their people based on the revenue that they receive. And let me tell you, most companies are right about between 25 to 30% on labor costs. What that means is the revenue that's coming in, let's say it's a $200,000 in a month, and this company makes $200,000. They're probably going to be paying out $50,000, $50,000 to $60,000 in labor cost for that month. Now expand that to the whole year. Let's say $1 million. They make $1 million, and they're going to pay out about a quarter of that to their employees, or their workers, whoever's on their staff or whatever. So with that being said, when you think of the amount of money that you make, I want you to just times that by 4, just for easy math. So whatever you make, times it by 4, and then realize that you are generating that times 4 amount for your company. The work that you do, the expertise that you bring, what you are doing for the company. Now, they might have a product or a system or a service or whatever it might be. But your job, your responsibility is bringing in 4 times what you're getting paid, as an example. Now, I'm not saying, don't get mad. Don't say, forget this. But the point of what I'm saying is this. Can you generate a piece of that with your own product, service, system, whatever it might be, right? And create your own business, because really all you would have to do, right? All you would have to do is do 25% of that revenue. Like, and let me tell you, if you really put in what we're talking about in this series, where you are lowering the cost of living and you are maximizing the cost, or maximizing the value of the rewards and all of the different stuff we've been talking about lately, you'll find that the reason why, and do this, okay, this is like financial class 101, do this. Figure out how much money you spend just because of where you work. And you might say, what do you mean? What do you mean? I make money when I go work. Yeah, but do you go out to eat, or you have lunch, or you bring in your lunch, or whatever? You drive back and forth. There's costs associated with your job that if you didn't have the job, you wouldn't have those costs. Okay, let's just put it like that. So really just thinking about, okay, how much do I really need to live off of? And think about it like this. I mean, think about it like this. If you were able to do just 1 month, that was the same as the company you're working for, or generate that same amount of money that your company's paying you 1/4, you could do that 1 month and then have 3 months off and then do it again for 1 month. Now that's why we want to work from anywhere, because we could just always be working, always be making money, wherever we're at, making money. But here's the point of the video. Once you get your cost down, and once you realize that, you know, you don't really need that much money, okay, because right now you're thinking, you got your mortgage, you got like, how much is it costing? Like, if you own your home, or you have a mortgage, you're paying your mortgage, how much is it costing you to maintain your home, and stuff like that. And I'm not saying, I mean, we sold our home, but I'm not saying you should sell yours. Many people, they're just renting out their home. They're putting on Airbnb or whatever, and they're traveling while they're gone. However you want to do it is fine. And that's the point of the video. Okay, the point of the video is this. How can you generate income if you weren't working where you were, and you were doing other things, like with your like, turn your liabilities into assets. Like, for example, a car. Here's a good example. Like, we have this Tesla, but we travel a lot. So we could, and we have in the past, just put our Tesla on Turo, which is like a car rental. And while we're traveling, people can rent our car. They can pick it up, drop it off, all of that. And we can make money with the car on Turo while we're not using our car. Same thing with a house, same thing with a travel trailer. For our travel trailers, we had where we would, there's a seasonal business as a travel trailer rental. But imagine, between like May to August, the summer months. So let's just say 3 months instead of 4 months. Let's say 3 months. Did you know we made enough in 3 months for the entire year to pay our payment on our trailer? Our trailer was being paid off with renting it out for 3 months to people that were taking a weekend vacation or a week-long vacation just in the summer. Well, now we're using our trailer in the summer, so we're not doing it anymore. But if I can, anyway, I'm just saying there's lots of ways to make money. And so, again, I say this is the point of the video. Okay, what's the point of the video? Okay, here it is. Are you ready? Develop ways to make extra streams of income that are not your primary source right now. And what can happen is that you can replace your primary source with a little bit of time and a little bit of effort, and then you actually won't need that 9-to-5 job that you have anymore. I mean, that's what I did. I used my multiple streams of income and my businesses to be able to get my time back. And I replaced my income from the restaurant industry, and then was able to walk away from the restaurant industry and get my time back, and then work. And yeah, I work, right? I work, but I have my time. I work anywhere. I have multiple businesses. I do buying and selling. There's trading online. There's auctions. There's all kinds of stuff that how we make money. And so I'm just saying, yes, the security, you think the security is there, but if you chances are, ask around, or you probably know somebody that has been laid off or that lost their job when they thought that job was their security, right? Their retirement. They're going to be there as long as they can. And all of a sudden they're not there anymore. Why? Because of the P&L. No. Or whatever it might be. Because of the profit and loss, or because of the downsizing, or because of AI, or because, like, forget all the excuses. Lean into the things that can make you money. And you think, like I said, you think your 9 to 5 is job security, or you're being secure and all of that. Don't count on it, is what I'm trying to say. And I'm positive about it, don't get me wrong, but I've just known so many people that have been laid off and all of that. So anyway, I hope that doesn't happen to anybody you know or yourself. But don't wait to find out. Build multiple streams of income and start to have multiple streams coming in so that you can earn your time back. So what should be the title of this one? Do you have a good title for this one, Amber? Amber's actually right here. Amber, what's a good title for this one? Get to the point, Brian. All right, hey, thanks for watching. And remember, don't just watch J-Line, but be a J-Line. Until next time, see ya.